Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. We've got a great panel for you today. I'm Harvey Freed. To the right of me, Harry Glanz.
Good morning, Harvey. Good morning. And winter is still around, brother. That reprieve, we thought we were going to get that early spring. Not happening, everybody.
Not going to happen. Maybe in the housing market.
Cold.
John Kolb joins us from Capital Mortgage, too, this morning. Hey, John, what's happening?
Hey, guys. Happy to be here. Go green tonight.
I had to start all that.
That's right, buddy.
I'm going to introduce Logan Word. Of course, good morning, Logan. Indulge Properties,
Good
KW
morning.
Metro. That's Keller Williams Metro and Royal Oak. He does all of Southeast Michigan.
Yep.
What's happening, brother?
Really happy to be here. Happy to see all you guys.
Yeah, Logan's an old friend. He's been around a long time. He's all grown up now.
He's a big guy.
He's doing great. He does a lot of upper-end real estate. But something about Logan, everybody, and we bring people on here that work. They work their area. They work with their clients, and Logan is a worker. Logan's a marketer. He sends out great marketing pieces, very upper end, very high class, very nice glossy pieces, Logan. I get them at my house all the time. I like them. And, you're in it, man. You're in it every single day, 24/7, 365, right?
Yeah, you have to be. You really do. I mean, things are changing constantly, as you guys know, whether it's rates or, specific micro markets. And it really depends what's happening that week, where the values are going to be and how many buyers are out there and what they're thinking, what the news in the market is and how that affects things. So if you're not living and breathing it 24 hours a day.
What are buyers thinking right now? Because, there's a lot of mixed signals, and you read, you listen, you hear these things in the market. We believe that the market it's ever changing, but it's still very strong. The lack of inventory, we've been talking about that for the last 2 years. We believe that the market is fluid. It's strong. There are a lot of buyers out there. Tell us what the buyers are thinking now, because they got you have to be showing them a lot of different houses, because maybe there isn't that right one, right? But so what are buyers thinking?
Well, it really depends, again, on price point and each micro market, depending on where you are in the area, what you're looking for. But there's plenty of buyers. There's just not enough inventory. And that's frustrating for buyers. And it's creating less inventory because a lot of those buyers also want to move. They're not first-time home buyers. They're looking to sell, but they don't want to sell until they find something.
Right.
And so it's keeping more inventory on the back burner, because I have a laundry list of buyers that as soon as they find the right one will sell, creating more inventory. But there's such a lack of inventory that it's really hard. In the past, you could list a home and then look for a house, and you'd have, give us a few months. We're going to find you a house. We're going to get you in. Can't guarantee that today.
Can't you, so we talk about this a lot, right? Can't you do a reverse contingency almost, where they'll get the buyer to put their house on the market, get it sold, but don't order anything. Don't order the title. Don't order the appraisal, because part of that purchase agreement is that the seller is not willing to sell until they find a house. They're not willing to close. And, yeah, you can do it for one person, but everybody has to be on board for that to be able to open up some more inventory.
We do that. It does. A lot of people are afraid to even do that, because they're like, well, what if I don't find anything? Then we have to go back. And so what happens more often is we have to play matchmaker off market, which kind of sucks for the market.
It's old school dating.
It's
not Tinder anymore. It's old school dating.
What you're trying to do in that case, you're trying to reserve that house for that buyer. You're you're telling the seller, we have somebody that's going to buy your house. You're telling the buyer, hey, look, this is your house. However, they've got to find something.
Right.
That's a lot of moving parts, and it's a lot of waiting, and it's a lot of frustration. I think it can work with the right, obviously the right buyer and seller. Those kind of things work. So what I'm hearing is, got to be creative, and you got to know the market, and taking a day off here or there just doesn't fly. And, that's the common denominator with a lot of very, very successful real estate people, or people in general. They're in their business 24/7.
You know what I like about that reverse contingency? I've noticed this a little bit, is once you get the seller, again, look, hey, we're going to get your house sold. It's going to be contingent upon you find there's a separate addendum. It's sold. We're all ready to go. It really gives them a little bit more confidence. I always felt like it pushed them a little bit more to say, you know what, that house might work for us. And it's about what did you say, about a 45? It's like, hey, Mr. Buyer, give me 45 or 60 days to find the house. You got the house. We're locked up. It's yours. Just don't do anything. Don't start spending money on appraisals yet.
100%. It's similar to if you did put your house on the market first with some occupancy after. Right. You have a sense of urgency. You don't want to let down these buyers that offered you something, and you're not gonna say, oh, I'll wait till next week for another one to come up, because at the end of the day, there's so many homes that will work for somebody. We make it a home when we move in. So it's like, are the bones sound? Are the mechanicals sound? I can change aesthetic things, but my house, I hated the style of the finishes, but the guy was meticulous, and I felt so confident buying it. I changed the floors, I changed the paint,
like normal things.
Yeah, like simple things, and we made it our home.
Yeah. Tell us about your team. Okay, at Indulge. Okay, it's Logan Wirt, Keller Williams Metro, Indulge Properties. I mean, he's got a whole team, a whole thing going on. Tell us about your team.
Well, at the end of the day, I'm the face of it. But in order for me to help my clients as much, I need help. So I always tell our clients, if I never want you to miss out, especially in a market where there's low inventory. So if I'm out of town or I already have booked appointments, we're still going to make sure that you get in, especially because a lot of times a house hits the market and there's a quick deadline for offers. So if you don't see it quickly, and I just don't have the bandwidth to be able to handle that many clients at once.
Well, you can't do everything yourself. You have to have a team, because if you're the CEO of your team, you're flying 30, 40,000 feet above it. You're looking at it on a macro level. You need people in it. You can't do everything. I tell people that all the time. You've got to be able to manage and go keep doing what you do best. And then other people have to do what they do best.
Yeah, and people don't necessarily realize that some of my clients, they want me to be with them to walk through the house. My clients don't need me to tell them if they like a house. It's, do you like it? Now let's chat about it after. Let's look at the values. Let me negotiate. But really, where I'm the best value, especially in a market like this, is meeting with potential sellers, so that maybe I meet with somebody and I go,
I got the perfect buyer for you.
This is perfect for Jim and Susie. Are you open to get creative? Let's play matchmaker.
Right.
And that's where they need me. They don't need me opening the door for them.
Yeah.
Introducing buyers and sellers.
A lot of good things that Logan said there. And I've never heard him say that before, because it's something that I use all the time, is I don't want you to miss an opportunity, right? So I tell that to clients all the time. Let's get your credit report run. Let's get your docs, because I don't want you to miss an opportunity. If you need something over the weekend and we don't have any of that stuff yet, I'm not as confident putting a letter out there for you. So if you need something over the weekend, I want your stuff already in. I know I can speak intelligently to the listing agent that these people are excellent buyers. Don't miss an opportunity. The other thing that he always says is that he wants to be friends with. If you don't want to be friends with your realtor, then he's not the right guy for you.
I like that.
I love that, because it means that he's going to talk to you real and tell you the truth and not BS you. So a lot of good things that Logan Wirt at Keller Williams Metro does. Make sure you walk by, tap on his window. He's the face of the building right there. And
he's got the office right up front now?
He's got the glass office right up front. So tap on the window and wave to him.
All right, 248-539-9797. Always 1 hour of the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. We take all your calls. Definitely want to hear from you. Logan comes in and joins us today. Always talking about the inventory, supply and demand. That's right, folks. Your family and friends, we thought they might have overpaid 2 years ago, Logan. That's not quite the case at all. Likely values have gone up 8 to 10% each year. And maybe since 2020, 43%? I saw a stat, 43% for those people that overpaid. Now they're sitting on a ton of equity. So great news for those folks. Gutsy moves, maybe. The rates are a little higher now. What do you see going on? What's the right thing to do right now? With the inventory, if you're renting now and the lease is coming up in a few months, isn't the right thing to do is get in front of that mortgage guy and get that approval and really start looking at homes seriously?
100% buy. I mean, if you bought, I always say this, that if you have the time to buy and wait, it's always been a good investment, and that's not going to change. We're running out of space. That it creates a supply and demand. I always equate like this local area to a place like Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
It's an island.
Right.
The population keeps increasing. You're gonna have to spread out, and those values are gonna keep increasing if that's where people want to be. Same thing around here.
Yeah.
Values are gonna keep increasing, and it's gonna start spreading from there. But yeah, buy now, wait. You'll be fine.
I've talked to some folks that are saying, I'm done with this city life. I'm moving up north, and there's tons of land up there. So lots of opportunities here across Southeast Michigan, all across the great state of Michigan. 248-539-9797. When we come back, all your calls. All right, we are back, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding, the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show in our 24th year. We are, of course, powered by CMG Home Loans, NMLS 1820 Equal Housing Lender. You can catch us at Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW-RATE. That's easy right here in town, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We'll hook you up with a strong approval letter, get your loan closed within 30 days. We offer every type of loan and specializing in some new construction programs that are really cool. Our new construction program works for some smaller builders out there, so you don't have to be a huge builder out there. If you've built 2 to 3 homes in the last 2 years, give us a call, 1-800-LOW-RATE. We can help you get financing for all your buyers. And again, you want to knock down that old house, wherever it might be, consider a renovation loan. Logan, you brought it up. Your first house, loved everything about the location, everything. Guy looked like he kept a nice tight house, but sure enough, you had to change things over to make it your own. We'll talk about the cost of goods, new construction, and some other programs. Also, let me throw it out there real quick. The ladies from our office are killing it tomorrow down at Ford Field. The wedding show, Harry, that's pretty cool. You know about weddings and stuff here.
The bridal show. The bridal show is at Ford Field tomorrow. We have Lisa Lawson, Becky Alley, 2 of our superstars down there. They do the show every single year. We've got a home funded program. And did you know that when you're getting married and you have your guest list, if you just have 100 people come to your wedding, they give you $50 each.
Yes, sir.
That's $5,000. You could use that money and only that money. You can use any money you want, but that money specifically can go toward a down payment, and we'll also match it with another $2,000. It's called Home Funded. Go see the ladies down there at the bridal show tomorrow, Ford Field. Becky Alley, Lisa Lawson, superstars. They've got the Home Funded program exclusive to Capital Mortgage Funding, so it'll be a lot of fun out there. And a segue right into Logan. Logan, it's really important to have experience. And when you have a vision, all right, when you have a buyer and you're trying to hook them up with a house, because you've gone through the process yourself, you and your wife, you did it. I mean, you've gone through the process. And we like to say it here, Harvey's done a lot of new construction. John's bought a lot of houses, done some renovation. So we know what that's all about. So you have a vision for that buyer and what kind of house they might like. Now, you don't prejudge, but you get to know your clients. And you can go ahead and tell what style, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, what would fit. So when you walk into a house and you have a vision, when it pops, you know right away, don't you?
Yeah, my favorite time is when maybe my clients are not with me and I walk through the house and I go, oh my God, this is the one. And I get to call them and say, get your butts here.
Right.
I found the one. Like, I don't care what you're doing. Bring the baby. I don't care. We found it. And that's so exciting. And the only way to do that is by knowing the clients so well. Like, I just have a new client the other day that I said, the way I like to work with them is it's not a waste of my time. Let's go look at some homes just so I can see your in-person reactions. We can, I can figure out what you like, what you don't like, because you just tell me some, number of bedrooms, square footage, all that. First of all, you don't even know until you see it.
Can't get a feel.
But yeah, you get a feel, and I just love being inside their heads, and it helps me look out for them. Once I connect with them, like John was saying, become friends with them, they become family to me. And I want to look out for them just like I do my mom or, my siblings. And it's really cool and I love that search.
Contracts are definitely showing an uptick already for spring. We talked about it actually already. Every year we talk about it, starting in January when we get back on the air with everyone. We say, look, there might be this short window, 30 to 60 days, where you can go buy a house with a little less inventory. It's gangbusters already. And again, coming this week, of course, a little snow today, but coming this week, again, 40-degree weather. It's not seasonal in Michigan anymore. You just got to be ready to go. But I love that how you, not only do you know the area, and you just mentioned it, you're going to look at these houses. You know the market. When some new homes come up on the marketplace, if it's not your listing, someone in your office, you're already dialed into the areas. So you go and you check it out first. Now you're learning all about the house. You could share that with all your buyers. That's key, I think, to really making the sale happen.
Yeah, knowing not just, what I see when I'm meeting with potential clients, but one of the things I do is I make sure that I have really, really good relationships with other agents. And I visit, and not just in my brokerage.
Right.
I mean, I feel like a vendor sometimes. I pop into other offices, bring cookies, bring donuts. I want them to like me. I want them to tell me about the stuff that they have coming and like working with me, just like you guys do. You guys have good relationships with agents. I want people to work with, mortgage bankers like you guys who are knowledgeable, who know about all the different options out there, so that when we do put in an offer, they go, okay, it's Logan. He always, shoots straight with me, and he's attached to a capital mortgage banker. Like, I know this is going to go well.
Hey, everybody out there, here's a little hidden secret in real estate, and Logan's going to kill me for saying this, and everybody knows this at all. So if Logan's on a transaction on one side, and let's say Molly's on the other side of the transaction, and Logan and Molly have known each other for years, even though they work at opposite brokerages or whatever, they know the deal's going to get done. So if Logan brings the deal to Molly and a stranger brings the deal to Molly, which one do you think has a better shot, everybody?
There you go.
Hey, I'll say it. That's the elephant in the room right now in a lot of areas. That's what's going on. But it's relationships. In any business you run, it's a relationship business. And people know. You can't, players know players, right? I mean, players know who the players are. So, listen, I think that's very, very key. I like the fact that, we're talking to people and the passion in your voice and your work ethic, Logan, if you can't tell, this dude is serious, like every single day. And you need that. And by the way, anybody who's successful is like that. So you got to hook up with somebody that's accessible 24/7. That's just the name of the game, John.
I can vouch for seeing you at the Starbucks early in the morning through the week, so I know you're definitely in that. This guy's not sleeping in for sure. Hey, we got open lines, 248-539-9797. Reason for hope that rates might trickle down. Yeah, we've been using that. That could happen. It might not. It's admirable to think it might not happen right away. Maybe it happens in late 24. Maybe it's 25, Harry.
So, Harvey, you got the two guys in here that love to talk about that stuff.
Yeah, we just threw it out there.
I'm going to throw it to John Kolb because John Kolb and I have just a $1 Mortimer bet. And it goes something like this. Everybody out there thinks rates are going to drop to a certain point, certain level. They think they're going to 5.5.
Okay.
I am not in that camp. Okay, rates right now are over 7. And I say by the end of the year, they might go down. But everybody out there, my opinion, just my opinion only, I don't work for Jerome Powell at the Fed, is that hey, sorry. I don't think it's going to happen. John, I don't think it's going to go to 5.5. I think they're going to be right where they're at. If they go down to 6.5, I'd be happy. I just don't believe that because that's a drastic change. You're talking about they've raised rates 11 times over the last 18 months. They've held them steady 4. They always go up faster than they come down. So I'm not. I just don't like to predict it. And, you and I love to go back and forth about it.
Well, I mean, I've just got a different opinion that I think that they will dip into the high 5s by the end of the year. That's our dollar Randolph and Mortimer bet from everybody that's from Trading Places, for anybody who doesn't know the where that comes
80s,
from.
Movie, yes.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I think they're going to get into the high 5s. And if they sit at 5.99 for one day in 2024,
1 second,
you're going to win $1.
1 second, I'll pay him the $1.
Hey, Logan,
that's the bet.
Logan, what's the difference? Home ownership, baby. Build wealth, build equity, put money in your pocket.
I'm going to throw it to Logan right now. It's a great segue, Harvey. Good job throwing it to Logan. Logan, it doesn't really matter, does it?
It doesn't. It doesn't. I have so many clients that bought, in the 80s and 90s that were in the teens.
Yeah.
And and they're fine. It didn't kill them. They still made money on their investment. Rates went down. They refinanced. I'm in the camp that, I think it'll probably stay in the 6s for the next year or two. And who cares?
Right.
Plenty of buyers. If you can afford it, you buy and you wait. You're going to make money compared to renting where you're paying 100%. At 7%, that's a 93% better
you can
deal.
Live at home. You can live in your mom's basement. Hey, Mom, how's it going? Maybe your mom will do her laundry or something. I don't know.
She's still doing his laundry.
Yeah, I wish. That'd be amazing. But no, I mean, it's historically, it's not a bad rate. Even where it is today,
no.
It's just compared to the unicorn years that we had.
2 years.
So you walked right into this. Dating back to April 1971, the fixed 30-year average was 7.8% according to Freddie Mac. So if you haven't locked in a rate yet, don't lose too much sleep over it. You can still get a great deal historically speaking, especially if you're borrowing with strong credit. You can get a great interest rate. Again, my first house was probably 8.5 or 9%. I think it was a year or two later. It dropped a little. We were able to save money. And again, there's other reasons why you refinance. And we talk about this all the time. It's a mortgage show. We do mortgages and real estate. Again, you can get rid of your PMI. You might get into the house with 5 or 10% down. So you might be paying some mortgage insurance. But a year into the house, 2 years into the house, you can refinance, remove the PMI. And again, you don't have to come out of pocket for this. You can keep your money invested. John Kolb, you're looking at me like, yeah, that happens a lot in the last 3 years.
I mean, I just don't understand why people are so focused on the rates. I get it, but like Logan, we've all said over time and time again, is that just like the stock market, you put your money into the stock market, you don't pull it out when the market goes way down. You don't, you keep it in when it goes way, way up, right? So at this point, you're still making money. If you're investing in real estate at 6%, 7%, 8%, the house is still appreciating and you're making money. Your payment may be a little bit more than you want it to be, but it's a game. And when it comes back down, we'll get you the better rate and refinance you. Don't lose out on the equity that you can build now by waiting for those rates to come down.
All right, home ownership. That's what we're talking about here. We got Logan Wirt joining us from Keller Williams Metro, and our whole staff here, John Kolb, Harry Glanz, myself, Harvey Freed, 248-539-9797. We'll save you money. Come on back and join us. We are back live here in the studio. It's a Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate and Business Show. We take all your calls, 248-539-9797. Call Capital Mortgage, 1-800-LOW RATE, the best mortgage banker. We got Becky Alley on the line from our office. Because, Becky, good morning. There she is.
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's happening?
Becky, I called it the wedding show. Let's just go with it. It's a bridal show. It's a wedding show. But our specialty is this home-funded program. You guys are going to be down there at Ford Field tomorrow. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, Lisa Lawson and I are super excited. I know you guys mentioned it. We do not miss a show. The people that put it on are clients of ours. Obviously Capital Mortgage Funding's been along for a long time. But anytime you can really get out there and, connect with the consumers, right? Everyday people that are doing everyday things, that are trying to buy houses and they don't know how to do it. So when you have something so exciting, the first thing you want to do is share it. So the biggest thing is this home funded program where we will match $2 for every dollar that someone is contributing to your fund, up to $2,000. So like Harry was saying, where if you get 100 people giving you $50, that's $5,000. Well, now your $5,000 is $7,000, and that could be used towards your house, and that money does not expire. Like it could be 2 years from now when you buy that house. That's the most beautiful thing, is because we're not here to sell, we're here to help, and it's not our timeline, it's your timeline. But if we can take you to that next level, because everybody knows two things. One, no one's going to call and check up on that toaster that you registered on your wedding registry, right? But they're going to love to know if they contributed towards you buying a house. And the other thing is, most people do not buy homes because they feel like they don't have the money saved up, and they don't know how to save the money, or it's going to take them 5 years to save up the money that they need. Because even if you have these down payment assistance programs, you still need some kind of money. So if you can find a way to contribute to people and help their life, why not? I mean, you have people that have GoFundMe pages for their injured animals, and we love animals. Why not have something like this for everyone that is trying to buy a house? I'm really excited to talk to everybody about it and really help people change their lives.
Yeah,
think
Becky,
there's
that's such a beautiful thing, everybody, because if I can go ahead and the old saying when you're buying a house, hey, I can afford the monthly payment, but I don't have the down payment. Well, this is a way not only to get the down payment, but then we're going to give you some more money on top of that. And then lastly, this is the best part. Lastly, if you allow Becky to combine it with some down payment assistance, you're going to have more money to put down on that house, John.
right, but we keep talking about it like this. We're assuming that this is just for low down payment people. It's not. This could be for a 10% down person, and why this is attractive to realtors, instead of going back to the seller for seller concessions, we now have the home funded account that can be set up so that can go towards the closing costs and prepaids to help that client, that 10%, 20%, whomever, to get in for a little bit cheaper, so you don't have to go back to the seller and renegotiate. So there's a lot of advantages. It's not just for low down payment people. It's for anybody who is going to be purchasing a home, and we can use it in conjunction, like Carrie was saying, with many other programs.
Becky, just a little bit more about the campaign. The whole campaign is we set it up. It's all online. People can contribute. And then tell us about if I go to the store and I spend money at a store, that also can be contributed back.
Yes, the tipping point of this particular program is it is for everybody. That is true. But we are at Capital Mortgage Funding. We are looking for any way we can help you get to that $2,000 mark. So let's just say you have somebody that doesn't have anyone that's going to give them money. It's all their own money. Well, once we set you up on this home funded page, every time you share it on social media, that's $1. Every time someone else shares it on social media, that's $1. We also can link it up to thousands of retailers where if you're just naturally shopping, this was huge during Christmas time, we contributed $10 for every dollar that someone was spending at Walmart, Nike. Everything that we can do humanly possibly to help someone get up to the $2,000, which is our max contribution, we are finding ways to do that. And we're going to explain that to everybody in grave detail. Not to mention, as the agents that are working with us at Capital Mortgage Funding, they can be a part of the home funded page, and they can say, okay, Capital Mortgage Funding is going to go up to $2,000 for these buyers. Well, you know what? I'm going to match them dollar for dollar up to $500. So now, or whatever that agent particular wants to jive into, because it's all about what John was saying, where now you don't need concessions. Now there's ways where we can contribute, and now that creates a buzz where it's like, wow, what is Capital Mortgage Funding doing over there? What is Logan doing over there that's helping their buyers? We're doing things that are next level, and this is exclusive. This is a program that nobody else has in our area whatsoever.
All right, everyone out there listening, get down to Ford Field tomorrow. If you got a wedding coming up, you got some relatives, tell them that the whole bridal show is going on tomorrow down at Ford Field. It's fun stuff. Why not? And again, Logan, how many air fryers do you really need? I need one. If you've got an extra, I might get that. Becky, thanks again for joining us. And you can stay on the line if you want. And, of course, Becky and Lisa will be down at Ford Field tomorrow. It starts in the morning. Check it out. You can just go online and punch in the bridal show. I think it starts at 9 a.m.
No, I don't know. I think it starts later. Becky,
Well,
when does it start?
What is
At
it,
noon,
Beck?
right?
We're going to be there 12 to 4.
Okay, 12 to 4.
Yep. So we have some last minute tickets available through the vendor they gave us. So if you are looking to possibly do a last minute show up, hit me up on socials, like the Capital Mortgage Funding page, send a message or a direct message to me on my Facebook page, and we can hook you up with some tickets.
All right, blame Harvey if you got down there early. You can go to Eastern Market and check it out, have some
Standing
breakfast or something.
outside in the
Go to
cold.
Lafayette.
Thanks, Harvey.
Oh, yeah, you have a couple chili dogs in the morning before there. You walk around the Ford Field. That's whatever you got to do. Thanks, Becky. Good stuff. Appreciate it. All right, 248-53.
Appreciate you guys, yeah.
Thanks. Okay, 248-539-9797. We take all your calls here. And, of course, we got Logan Wirt joining us from Keller Williams. And we got some other calls that are coming in. We're going to get those up here in a minute. He's still punching them in. So we got open lines all morning long, and we'll definitely get that going on. All right, so we always talk about in the mortgage world things you can do. We started talking about the home funded program for, again, some of the buyers that are struggling with coming up with the down payment. Hey, a lot of people paid their own way through college. They don't have a lot of money to work with. And, again, they got this wedding coming up. So now they got to put out some more money. You got the DJ you got to pay for. You got the liquor bill. You got all these different things, the dress. There's so many things. So what else can you do, John Kolb? You can, while you're thinking about buying a house, you can start working on your credit score. So a lot of things you can do to start preparing for your life. Credit is definitely one of them. And if you're getting married, again, get that together, sit down and start talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have to do your homework up front. I tell the story all the time, every time we're on the radio, right, about a guy who, a buddy of mine, was looking for a home in January, has an $84 medical collection on his credit report. No big deal, right? Everybody gets them. Tell him, hey, you got to get this taken care of. August comes around, he finds the house of his dreams, has to jump on it. We pull his credit again. He hasn't paid it off. He gets a little bit higher rate, a little bit higher in fees because he didn't listen to us on the front end. Come on, listen to us on the front end, get that stuff paid off, and make sure we take care of you. Do we have some calls, Harv?
Not quite yet. We're getting it up here in a minute. Yep.
The other thing I wanted to talk about is the other down payment assistance program that we have. It's an FHA all-in-one, where is the down payment portion is now forgivable after 5 years. So reach out to us. We've got other things out there to help work and make things work, and it's really a good time. I mean, FHA can go all the way up to, what is it, $400 and some thousand now, right, Harv?
I could do the math real quick for you. I had it written down a couple of days ago. It's 480. It's 490. It's an odd figure. It's 65% of $766,550. But I don't have the numbers right in front of me, John. But yes,
I called him out. Everyone, you hear that? He didn't know.
492.
Plenty high.
It's
very high.
472, 257.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
All right, 248-539-9797 if you want to join the show. We've got a call, so let's go to our caller, Dwayne, if we could bring that up. Eric, we'll go to Dwayne right now. Hey, Dwayne, thanks for joining us. Go ahead with your question.
Hey, so I purchased around September of 21. I got the rate at 4.5%, and I'm wondering, to get the PMI off, will it even be worth it? Right now, I'm paying about $300 in PMI per month. If I refi right now, will it be even worth it going at a higher rate?
What kind of mortgage are you in right now?
FHA.
So you have to refinance to get rid of it. So let's do the math. Just give us a call and we'll do the math for you. I can't honestly tell you that yes or no to that. It depends on your loan size, depends on your credit, depends on what kind of loan we can get you into.
What's your balance right now?
The balance is about $190.
$300 a month on a 190 seems a lot.
That's a heavy duty MIP is what you're paying also, the mortgage insurance premium. Dwayne, it's a great call, and we like that because we're going to cram some numbers together and see if it makes sense. No doubt, I want to double check that MIP that he's paying, but there's no doubt we'll give you a call after this show because, Harry, if we can get rid of someone's mortgage insurance, and maybe even if he's going from an FHA 30-year and he's been there since 21, so he's 3 years in the house, 27 years left, I lower him down to a 20-year fixed, I remove the MIP, all of a sudden he saves $70,000, $80,000 on that remaining balance.
It's all about the math. If he's saving money or something makes sense to him, of course, how long is he going to be in the house, everything like that. So
right on.
We want to see how much money we could save him. And that's the big thing right now. We have to save people money. And by the way, we'll tell you, Dwayne, if it's not worth it for you, we'll tell you it's not worth it for you. We don't want to do it if it's not worth it.
But it's a free consultation, Dwayne. So either Harvey or myself or Harry will give you a call after the show, and we'll make sure we take care of you.
We'll follow right up with you. Thanks for the call, Dwayne. Anyone else listening to that? Again, always run the numbers. Get professional people. Run the numbers. Take a look. Again, MIP's on an FHA loan. That doesn't fall off in most cases unless you put down more than 10%. And who wants to hang on to MIP monthly for 11 years? So you can always refinance your house to better your situation. Now, sometimes the rate could be a little bit higher. Maybe, John, we look at that and all of a sudden it turns into we're paying off something else.
Yeah, but it's not really about the rate. It's about saving the money. Right. So if, for example, we can save him, $200, but the rate's higher, or $300 a month, what's the difference with the rate? Is he's saving money, he's keeping that money in his pocket.
In fact, we just gave him a better tax advantage because he has more interest to write off.
There you go. Well, but he could take that $300 if he wanted to and turn around and continue to make the same payment and pay the loan down quicker. But it just depends on his situation. When it's only about saving money, it's not about the rate.
Logan, I'm going to go here with a little bit. You brought it up. Work with a real estate agent. Are you kidding me? Coming soon properties. That's what's going on right now. If you don't have someone who's on the ground, hitting these open houses, like you said, popping in other real estate offices, finding out who they're talking to so you can start mixing some buyers and sellers together, you're working with the wrong people. It's so important. Get yourself a big head start to find out, competing for the limited homes that are on the marketplace. Get yourself a huge head start and get a professional real estate agent.
Yeah, the first thing you should do is get your team together. That's, your lender, professional full-time agents, so that they can guide you through the process. If you do need to, repair some credit, we can get going on that. Don't start on one of the websites looking at homes. Start with building your team, make sure you're in the right position, plan, create a plan of attack. And then you can start going and looking at homes and figuring out, what's the best home for you.
Isn't it funny that, after all these years, all these different guests that we always have, it's the ones that are the most important to the client are the ones that always say the word build your team.
Yeah.
Just like Logan just did.
Yeah.
It's amazing to me because it is all about working together. Like Logan said, he wants to be friends with the other agents out there so that if he finds they have a property that he knows that they might be interested in, they reach out directly to him. That's about building your team and working together, and that's the most important thing. Is we're not one-on-one out here. We're a community of lenders, a community of realtors working together to get everything done.
All righty, guys. We are up against a quick break here. 9:41. If you're just joining us, it's the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show. We got calls coming in. Come and join us. Be one of those great callers. Share some information with you. 248-539-9797. We'll be right back. All righty, we are back. 9:43. A little bit of snow dusting out there, but I think we got Red Wings and Pistons. We got Pat Caputo coming up with sports at 10 o'clock. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. Call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Always your calls, 248-539-9797. It's your lifestyle. You want to buy a house? Definitely call Capital Mortgage Funding. We'll get you hooked up with these great real estate agents that we always have on the show. Again, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Let's go to some calls. I'll pick one out here. I want to go with looking to purchase. Let's go with Scott out in Pontiac. Good morning, Scott, and welcome to the show.
How you doing?
Hey, real good. What's happening?
Not much. Just got a quick question for you. So my credit score is about a 530 right now. My wife's is about a 740. We got about $12,000 saved. We're looking to get a down payment on a house, but we don't have a down payment. Would it be better to go with a bigger mortgage to get a house?
Well, first of all, yeah, we're going to hook you up. First of all, you're definitely married up. What do we call that? I think there's a song. Yeah, anyways, yeah, definitely. We can definitely got to start working on the money out of your pocket to get into the house. Why is your credit score on the low side? What's causing it to be low that low right now?
I had some debt that I had to pay off. All our debt's paid off. We have one that we're fighting right now, which is an old timeshare that we had on our credit score. So we're in the process of fighting that. So that's the one thing that's hindering us from getting a better rate.
Well, so first and foremost, you said you're saving up for a down payment. It said you have $12,000 in the bank. That sounds like a pretty good down payment to me right now. I mean, we can get you in to something with $12,000 and some seller concessions or not, like we were talking about earlier. Secondly, the good thing about timeshares nowadays is that back in the day, if you went delinquent on a timeshare and just walked away from it, it was considered a foreclosure. That is not the case anymore. They do not look at them as foreclosures. So it is a debt. You do have to qualify for it. I would venture a guess with your credit, Scott, that you need to probably get some new credit going. And we have some ideas. I'm not going to give all the answers on the air because those slappy mortgage guys out there listening that don't know these answers, I don't want them to be able to to advise you the right way. But I've got some ideas for you. So Harvey, myself, we'll be reaching out to make sure we get you some good ideas on how to improve your credit because we need your score up.
All right.
Unless we just do it in your wife's name, but we'll figure that out for you. We're here for advice. And then where are you looking to buy?
So we're looking to buy in Lapeer right now. That's the area that we're currently living in. The thing is, we're fighting the timeshare right now. We're with Links Legal, and we pay the credit. We pay it correctly every month. And our team said to stop paying, and now it's affecting our credit.
Yeah, that's what happens.
What about those companies that advertise? I don't even know if those companies work, but this is a great call you guys have. Two things we're going to help you with. When we call you after the show, we're going to work on we'll take a look at your credit report, and then we'll go ahead and give some great information. If you need credit counseling, someone that can really get it done the right way over a few months, we got to get Scott's credit score up a little bit. But we got all sorts of ideas how we can get you guys a house in Lapeer, maybe not too far away from now. So I think it's a great call, guys. I don't want to spill all the beans on the radio, but we'll follow up right after the show. How's that? There you go. 248-539-9797. Harry, do you want to throw anything in on that one?
I want to hear what the next caller has to say.
Let's go. Hey, let's continue the calls here then. We'll go to Mike. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to the show.
Hey, guys. Good morning. Thanks a lot for having me on.
Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I've got a couple of investors telling me about assumable mortgages. I'm just wondering if that's an option for the first-time home buyers that are out there. How much money is required for those things, what type of loans to look out for, how to work with a realtor to maybe find something that's a little bit more creative. You guys talk a little bit more about assumable mortgages?
Yeah, Mike, there aren't too many assumable mortgages out there. I mean, the only assumable mortgage out there that right now is a VA loan that you can assume, but you still have to qualify for that. So I don't know where they're getting their information. There are all these assumable mortgages out there. They're just not there.
Yeah, and the reason why here is the number one thing with assumable was the seller, the person who's selling it, still had some liability. There was some liability attached to it. And most of the time, people who are selling, they're saying, hey, look, I'm selling as is. You're the next guy up, the next woman up. Yeah, take the house. You're on your own. You can do whatever you want. You can refinance it. You can buy it.
I think John didn't you just have a situation about a VA and assumable mortgage?
Yeah, I mean, it's once again, you have to qualify on your own as well as part of that, and I'll tell you the story of my parents because they assumed their mortgage back in '82 when we moved here to Michigan. Looking around the area, my mom fell in love with this house. My dad thought the house was okay. Rates, like Logan had pointed out back in the day, were 16-17%. And when my dad found out that the mortgage on the house that my mom loved was assumable at 8%, he fell in love with the house even more, right? So, but he had to come up with the difference between what the guy was selling the house for and what the balance on the mortgage. You don't get to increase that mortgage. So I'm just going to use rough numbers here. So let's say the house was selling for $200,000. The guy owned $100,000. You have to come up with $100,000 difference to assume that mortgage. So it's not all just, take that rate and run with it. It's, there's a lot more to it. And once again, the conventional loans aren't assumable as much anymore, if at all. VA is the only one that we really know about right now. And but we can do some investigations for you.
John, there's other type of loans too, the DSCR loan, which works for a lot of guys investing. So, Mike, do you own a rental now or an investment property yet, or are you going to get into your first one?
Just one. I'm looking to expand, but I got lucky, 3 years ago when everything was prime.
Perfect.
But I'm looking to grow it a little bit more, pass it on, something for my family. But, just hearing you guys talk about it, and for my friends that are first-time home buyers too, that we were talking about it. I appreciate the breakdown there, and totally makes sense. I understand why investors are tied, and they usually have a lot of capital up front, so they can they have the flexibility to do that. But the folks over here that are my first-time home buying friends that don't have that much capital up front, it kind of makes it a tough sell.
We're going to have you come on the show and promote that. I like what you said. 248-539-9797. We have open lines. Mike, thanks for joining us. Great stuff here, and we'll follow up with you and
Yeah,
get you some more
I
information.
want to
Go
add
ahead,
on
Beck.
something.
Sure.
Okay, so I even had a VA loan. Okay, it was we were doing a refinance out of the VA loan, but it was even a divorce situation, and the steps that the spouse that was given the house in the divorce decree, the steps that she even had to take for VA, because she wasn't the veteran and all the things. I mean, it literally took 6 months for that process to kind of take place, and then there's foreclosure, and then she was trying to sell it, and there's a big thing, right? So, these assumable mortgages, it is very difficult in some of these situations to actually get them to the place where you're qualifying. They really, especially VA, they're very strict about the things. FHA people also ask if those are assumable. The things that you have to do, you have to be very diligent. You have to be working with a professional lender. And in some cases, you have to look at, does it really make sense for this mortgage to be assumed by you with all the other things that John was also talking about. So there's a lot of misconception. There's a false narrative around all that, but I understand because rates are a little bit higher. But at the end of the day, like in 6 months, the rates, if you're going with John's bet, the rate's going to be better for you anyway, where you're better off just not even assuming it anyway.
There you go.
There's that endorsement, John.
Somebody's finally on my side.
That's the endorsement you've been looking for.
Logan, I want to bring you in on that. Definitely. Although the housing market is becoming more balanced in the recent past, it still favors sellers. There's really no, I used to get the calls, hey, I'm looking for a foreclosure. Logan, there's less of those out there than there are assumable mortgages. It's a toss-up.
Logan, people are watching too much TV, right? Come on, help me out with this.
100%. I mean, foreclosures are pretty much non-existent.
Yeah. Everyone's got equity. Why would you foreclose?
Yeah,
when
you don't
sell
need
it? Right.
to. You could just wait a week and it'll appreciate to where you can sell it. But I actually, now that Becky just spoke again, made me just rethink the Home Fund It program that you guys have. The story of that is so cool. Like you're gonna have so much fun at the bridal show today talking about that because, well, one, I love a good story, but to think that my wedding guests could really feel like they're playing a part in my first home with my wife
Your
is
family's
like
future,
the coolest thing. Like I love good stories like that. Like after this, I'm going to meet a client at their house who we just helped them buy extremely competitive situation, got them the home that they never thought they'd be able to get. It's their dream home. She's texting me pictures all the time. She's she feels like the queen in her castle right now compared to what they were in, and she's just so thrilled. And her kids call me and say thank you so much, and so I get to go over there today and
that's good.
give her a hug.
That's a great story.
Awesome.
So
the people stories are always the best. That what makes our industry really fun. There's a lot of pressure sometimes with some of the stickier transactions out there, and they're a little bit more rewarding when someone has a little bit of a challenge. And just us getting you to that finish line is what it's all about. Again, we're up against the end of the show here. 248-539-9797. We'd like to hear from you some more, or call us at Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. We always break down the important stuff, John. The debt to income ratio, the loan to values, the down payments. There's so much involved in a mortgage. And we still get those phone calls, what's your rate? And again, rates are based on all of these different variables, credit, loan to value, all that other good stuff.
I mean, yeah, you can, I hate the guy that calls me up and says, hey, what's your rate? That's the first thing out of his mouth. And, not good morning. What's your rate? Well, it's
he
two.
meant that.
Here, it's two. And the bag of money that comes along with it sitting at the front door. Come on down and get it. No, there is a lot more to it. We have to do some deep dive. I have to, like Logan said with his clients, he gets inside their head so he can understand what their needs and wants are. Same thing on the mortgage side. We have to understand needs and wants and what you're going through. So we're going to ask you a bunch of questions, and if you want the accurate rate, we'll give it to you. But if you just want a random rate out there, then I'm going to say 5.99 and win my bet with Harry.
You guys
it has to be proven, though, John. It has to be substantiated.
Well, you guys are in such a cool position, and I feel the same way about my business, too. I mean, we're all in the same business, but, you're in a position to truly help people. And I used to work with you guys, and I used to feel like that too, like I could really help people. And oftentimes I think people are so concerned about their rate and not changing their rate and not looking at the entire picture. I mean, you guys know there's so many people that are paying 20% with all this credit card debt, and you can pay that off.
Makes no sense
with a 6-point-something% rate, and they're in a way better position. But they're not thinking about that. And that's why they need people like you guys to, to help them and guide them. And
We did that with a client. Harry and I did that with a client a couple years ago. We saved them $1,700 a month. The rate went up, the mortgage payment went up, but what we paid off saved them $1,700 a month,
That's
and
huge.
that was life changing for them.
Yeah.
They were retired, they were on fixed incomes, and this was life changing for them. And you're right, it's one of those things that makes you want to come back and do it. It's like birdieing the 18th hole and wanting to come back and play again after you bogeyed the first 17.
Right.
So it's just. Sorry, go ahead, Beck.
Well, I was just saying, just the truth is that the rate is the only reason why people ask about the rate is because they don't know what else to ask about. It used to be like, what's the APR too? People really don't ask about the APR as much as they do, but the rate, but that's all they know what to ask for because they don't know anything else. But it is what you're talking about. It's listening and hearing what they're not saying to you through the words. And the interest rate is a piece of the puzzle. It's not the whole entire thing. So your rate can go up and you still can save money and it's still a beautiful thing. So you got to be with high level lenders, with high level real estate agents to achieve the best results.
All righty. And if we look back just in October, we're 1% lower in interest rates than we were in October of 2023. So it's still a great time to buy. Logan Ward, thanks for joining us.
Thank you guys. It's a blast.
Always fun to have it. Check out Logan. He's at Keller Williams in Royal Oak at the Keller Williams Metro office. Indulge Properties online. He's solid stuff. And you can call Capital Mortgage Funding 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage bank. We're hooked up with all these great real estate agents who come on the show, including Logan. And John Kolb, any last words?
Nope. Hey, go out there, go green. Let's get a win here at
Big win tonight, buddy. Big
November.
win.
Yep.
Let's go.
Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket. Be safe out there and enjoy your weekend.